What's up, you pessimistic turd burglars? Your mom was so dirty when she tried to take a bath, the water jumped out and said, "Ooh, I'll wait." And if brains were dynamite, you wouldn't have enough to blow your nose. It's your boy Rob, and apparently, I'm an asshole. Welcome. That was corny. Thanks for coming back if you're new. Wait, scratch that, reverse it. Thanks for coming back if you're not new. Thanks for being here if you are new. It works. Something like that. I don't know. I'm still getting the hang of it. Still doing it though. But I'm still doing it though. Okay? Okay. So, if you're new, here's what we do. We get on Reddit, or we get on my Twitter, twitter.com/assholeamiva, or at mitheahole22@gmail.com. And we read these stories that are submitted, and they want to know if they're the asshole for something that they may or may not have done, or if somebody judges them on some shit. And our job, our civic duty, is to let them know whether they're the asshole, whether they're not the asshole, whether everyone sucks, whether no one sucks at all in the story, or they're from Virginia. There's not a lot of virgins there. Let me tell you why Virginia is the asshole state of the day. Number one, cannibals. They're known for this? It's weird. I looked it up, and I was just like, that was surprisingly weird. As far as stupid laws go, one of them is it's illegal to tickle women, which I'm not really mad at. You shouldn't be touching them anyway, but that's where you really stand on. You got a whole bunch of other laws that are really stupid. So, I don't know. That's not a big thing to be proud of. At a certain point, Virginia was divided into shires. That should tell you about how people look out there. Some say the traffic is worse than Los Angeles. That's a tough pill to swallow. And racism. I don't really feel like I got to do too much there. Charlottesville. You guys don't believe in climate change? The homophobia. I mean, I feel like that's like the birthplace of homophobia. And Virginia has nothing but noise, like jet plane and airplane noise. You guys got a bunch of airports, and then you guys got a bunch of military bases where the pilots just do tricks over people's houses, and nobody's asking them to. They're not at a show, they just do it. So Virginia sucks. Let's just go down the East Coast sometimes. I still got to go back to California about some stuff, but I do what the wheel says. Anyways, let's get into it. Am I the asshole for wanting to charge my niece rent while living in our apartment? Me and my husband, Tom, have a daughter. Let's just name her Alice. Alice is a full-time... Wait. Did you full name Tom? I mean, did you real name Tom and then just Did you real name Tom and then just, make up a name for Alice? Like, why is she protected and he's not? This is funny. Anyways, Alice is a full-time college student, but works as a fast food... Okay, she's a whole McDonald's. Anyways, she works at a fast food place on the weekends. She received a scholarship to her college that covered most costs, and we pay the rest. Me and Tom own our apartment, and we also own a second apartment that we let Alice live in, so she doesn't have to worry about rent and can focus on her studies. Tom's sister has a daughter, Rose. Her parents live in a different state, but she moved here for college. Not the same college as Alice, a significantly more expensive one. Rose recently ran into some troubles and struggling to pay for her housing. Rose, as well as my sister-in-law, asked if she could room with Alice for a little while she saves up. We've talked to Alice, and she's fine with having Rose stay with her. Tom is insisting that we let Rose stay for free, but I think she should pay rent. Rose said she'd cover utilities and food, and he's insisting that's more than enough, and we should help her out. I replied that we're helping her out by giving her a place to stay, and the rent would be less than market rent. Tom said by that logic, we should be charging Alice the same rent as well, but I think that's completely different, but he said I'm being selfish. Am I the asshole? By the way, there's an update. We weren't expecting this, but Rose called Tom last night. She said she's been talking to her college and other advisors, and given her medical situation, they can arrange cheap housing for her and some sort of increase in financial aid. She didn't go into details. Rose also said she's going to be taking some time off for her health and going back to her parents during this time, or they can come here. Her college is on board with this too. So yes, things are working out for all of us, and I told Rose how happy I was for her that things are getting a little easier now. Tom kept insisting that she could stay in Alice's apartment anytime, but Rose said she doesn't need to. Alice was obviously fine from the beginning having Rose stay, but doesn't have to give up her space now. So here's something. I don't even like saying I agree with the redditors comments on this one, but the commenters are pretty on point. You're a fucking asshole. You're a fucking asshole. This is family. This is family. I don't care how disconnected it is, or you didn't even say it's like some bad shit. You just said this is your husband's sister, so your sister-in-law, so your niece-in-law. It's your fucking niece. Why are you like this? Here's the other thing. You're setting a bad example because you already let your daughter stay for free, and now you're charging your niece. And this is your husband's family. You can't even let a concession. Wait, hold on. Why is Tom such a pussy? You guys said that both of you own an apartment. You both also own a second apartment. So he has a say. This is really stupid that your niece stays in a way more expensive college and she can't even get a little bit of a break. So now you're going to charge her again. Like, y'all don't believe in anybody having like a little bit of help from family. Like, this is really stupid because you're letting your daughter off, you know? And Rose, I'm assuming this is a 1-bedroom apartment. You don't say how many bedrooms it is, but this is where Alice stays. You guys are not hurting financially because you have 2 apartments and Alice is able to stay rent free. So if the niece didn't exist, you guys are comfortable. So why do you need this extra money? Why are you doing this? Why is your husband not saying? I mean, he's telling you, he's trying to be polite about it, but you seem like a Zilla of some sorts, like a Zilla. New title. I said it first. Fuck you guys. How the fuck are you like this? Then you said some bullshit update to try to make yourself seem better. At the end of it, you say thank you to the people who left comments and tried to see my side. You don't have a fucking side. You're sideless. You're spineless too. You're a fucking. I'm gonna start saying cunt. I'm gonna start saying the word cunt. Funnily enough, I read this somewhere. I don't even know if it's fully true, but it just makes sense. It just feels good. That the word cunt. Because if I explain it, it'll probably take the stupidness off of it and how people get so offended, or even saying it as close to saying the N-word. Fucking cunts. Cunt was a place in Europe, and it was called Cuntville Lane. And the bobbies, the cops, used to go down there and take care. It was an alley behind a major street, and they called it Cuntville Lane. And it's where all the prostitutes and the gambling and the lepers and the thieves and all this other stuff, that's where they hold up when they were coming from the shipping ports. And the bobbies used to go down there and they used to call them the cunts, as like that's their name. Like a Brooklyn person would be a Brooklynite, or somebody from, Virginia would be called a dickhead. So basically they called them the cunts. And so that's pretty much where the word cunt comes from. The same thing as the N-word. Anyways, you're a cunt. Because here's the thing. You added this extra bullshit, like people are really seeing your side. Anybody that sees your side is also a cunt. Because here's the thing. I'm glad that the university was able to help out more than her actual family was. And you said like, I'm happy that things are working a little bit easier. And then Tom kept saying, oh, you can stay at Alice's anytime. She's like, no, thank you. You know why she said no, thank you? Because fuck you guys. Because she that's really sucks. And she had to go to the university and say how much she's struggling to them. That's got to be really embarrassing. And you should be ashamed of yourself. I don't want to spend too much time on you fucking asshole. Cunt. Let's see what happens. I'm just going to keep saying it. I could even tell them I'm from Australia. They don't know that's not true. I'm really good at accents. Also, this person has a financial burden. And so by helping them, you want to charge them rent? Like, I don't understand people like that. If somebody comes to you and says, and their family, or they're a loved one, and they say, I need help, or I'm going through something, and then you're like, oh, yeah, it's a perfect opportunity to take advantage of them, like every other person or entity, like the colleges, the colleges, I feel like, is always taking advantage. They're always the assholes, just, whatever. They're actually helping her. This is really fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, universities bend the rules to help students struggling with disabilities. Also, she has a medical condition. Yo, you're a capital asshole. You have this place that you're financially fine with opening up a second place, and you're giving it to your daughter for 4 years, maybe. Let's just assume because she's in college and she's staying there, rent free. A lot of people don't have that. Like, yo, you're the asshole, and you're gonna charge her more. Also, when the option was, hey, well, then Alice should pay something too. How about let's teach our daughter some fucking responsibility so she doesn't grow up like your cunty ass. And it's really stupid that you can't do that for your niece. Also, like she's trying to better her life, and here you are. I'm not saying, okay, here's the other thing. I just looked at some of the people who said, you're not the asshole because she should learn what the real world is. And I kind of agree with that. But then you should also do the same thing for Alice. That's not fair. You know, Alice is just going to be a privileged prick. I'm not saying she is. I'm saying like she could become like that because, oh, I got my parents to cover my ass every 5 seconds. And Rose is going to be a genuine, beacon to society, hopefully, because she is, going to know that there are assholes in the world and you have to do things for yourself because you cannot depend on anybody, including family sometimes. Oh, your daughter didn't get into the same kind of college that the niece got into. That makes it sound like you're a little jealous. That makes me think you're a little jealous about that because you added that. Also, your niece had an accident and was left with medical bills, and she was perfectly fine covering college before then. This is not still working in your favor. The accident led to the niece losing her job, and it's another reason why she had a hard time paying rent. You're really fucked up. You're a jealous mother kicking a literal child when she's down. The expensive college is a red herring, meant to get us blame the niece for her misfortune. You're a fucking cunt. Fuck out of here.
Cunt.
Stop saying that!
Well, you Virginians, I don't want to talk to y'all. That's the end of the show for today, and I appreciate you being here. Not if you're from Virginia. Leave the state first. You know what I like to say. Leave the state first, then subscribe. Don't unsubscribe if you're from the state. Just tough it out. It is what it is. We're going to be back again. You know the days, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'm really hammering this shit out. I'm getting some really good advice and some critiques and some good shit. But for the most part, everybody seems to like it. It's like you guys come into your resident asshole for advice on who's an asshole and who's not. Keep them shits coming. Get me on for Reddit again. Let's go to twitter.com/asshole or amithehole22@gmail.com and send me your stories. I got a few in there. I got to sort through them. And grammatical errors. Come on, man. It's 22 episodes worth of people don't know how to write. And you can hit that button and say submit, but you haven't looked over it. Now, if you're driving and typing, don't do that. Unless you're good at it like I am. And if that's the case, wait till you pull over and make sure that actually makes sense. Because I want to read these stories, some of them. So, you know what to do. You know how this works. You know what I'm going to throw up. It's coming. There it is. And you know what, I'm gonna do this.